Hey, today is release day for the Bohippian Quilt. So this is my 21st quilt pattern, and I am going to show you the quilts. I'm going to show you my grandmother's quilt. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about English paper piecing, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the quilt pattern. You probably are really familiar with a grandmother's flower garden, and Bohippian is a grandmother's flower garden quilt pattern. So grandmother's flower garden quilts, I think, came around in the 1920s, 1930s. Don't quote me on that, I could be way off, but that's when I think they came around, or from what I've been able to read up, that's when they first became a thing. And they've remained really popular, and you'll still see people making them today. They are a lovely, lovely shape. That hexagon flower is the cutest thing to me. It is endless possibilities, and I'm absolutely in love with that design. The thing is, you can't really find that many quilt patterns with them. I think I managed to find one that was more of an applique quilt, but what I wanted to make was a traditional grandmother's flower garden quilt with a few modern tweaks to it, and that is how I've written Bohippian. So let me show you the quilts, and then I'm going to tell you some differences. So here is my Bohippian quilt, and that is what it looks like. This is the one that's on the cover, and this is the quilt I spent a year and a half working on. So let me just go ahead and show you this pillow too while I'm showing you. So it also comes with, the pattern also comes with this pillow pattern part. All right, so that is my quilt. So let me show you my grandmother's quilt, which actually was pieced in the 70s by my great-grandmother Nora, and my grandmother had it in her closet from the late 80s till a few years before she passed away. I think it was like 2016 I got my hands on this quilt. She gifted me the quilt top, and I finished it up. So let me show you that. If you've read my book, this quilt story is in the book, or I tell a quilt story in the book about how I came to the quilt. But this is great-grandmother Nora's quilt. You can see some major difference. First of all, this is a very scrappy quilt, where mine has a modern 4 fabrics in it. Another major difference between your traditional grandmother's flower garden quilt and your modern version, or my version, is that traditionally you would just make a whole bunch of these flowers and then make borders around half of them, sew them together. The result of doing it that way was that you ended up with these zigzag borders. So when you're looking at older grandmother flower garden quilts, you're probably seeing the majority of them with those kind of borders around them. It just works out that way. The thing is that when I was gifted this quilt, I feel like I didn't know any better, and I cut those borders off. I keep saying borders, and I should be saying edge. It's a zigzag edge, and I cut it off. I can't tell you how deeply I regret doing that. But at the time, it was just what I did. I moved a little bit quicker back then. Anyway, so I gave it these straight edge and cut these hexies right in half. And I should have taken the time to learn how to bind a border like that, which I ended up doing later, but not on my grandmother's quilt. So I do have that regret, but it's done. And it's still a quilt that I'm very, very proud of. I finished it. I got to show it to my grandmother, finished, and she was absolutely thrilled with it. But on Bohippian, the quilt comes together with straight edges, where you're not taking off half of one of those hexie flowers. You're not going to take off half of those. It's going to come together. Every block is a little bit different, so that it comes together exactly with those straight edges. So one of the other major differences between Bohippian and your traditional grandmother's flower garden is the hexagon size. So my quilt uses a 1.5 inch hexagon, whereas Grandmother Nora's quilt used 1 inch. And hexagons are measured by their sides. So each side would be 1 inch. On mine, each side would be 1.5 inches. So that's another major difference. And another huge difference is the way they are pieced. Grandmother Nora cut hexagons out of fabric and sewed them together with her hands, whereas I'm using a method called English paper piecing, or EPP. And what it is you take a paper piece, you take a paper hexagon and you wrap a fabric square around that hexagon. You sew it to another one just like it, and then you remove the papers. So I don't know if I would say it's quicker or it's easier. I would definitely say it's sturdier. And I've touched a lot of Grandmother's flower garden quilt, and I know that the stitches are just stronger. It's just the way it is. I don't know that I would say it was quicker. I kind of want to try one Grandmother Nora's way, but maybe one day. Okay, so let's talk about EPP. I think English paper piecing is one of the most relaxing, meditative moments in quilting. It is slow. I mean, we're talking slow. That quilt took me 1.5 years to piece. And that's kind of the purpose of it. So it's to slow you down. So I didn't take away from any of my faster quilts. I'm still finishing, a quilt as many times as I finish quilts every year. But on the side, I was working on this quilt. So it wasn't something that's replacing my faster quilts. It was just to be worked during slow moments. So in the evenings, during my downtime, if I'm watching television, I was working on the Bohippian quilt. If I took a road trip, during that road trip, I'm working on the Bohippian quilt in the car. I took a plane ride to Utah last year. I worked on that quilt on the plane. Just any kind of slow moment, relaxing by the pool, being at the beach, locked away in the cabin for a week, I was working on Bohippian quilt, and it's just slow. And that was the best part of it, is that, your hand can only work so fast, and it forces you to slow down. I enjoyed every single stitch. I absolutely loved it. So I really feel like everybody should give it a try at least once. And that's part of the reason that I added the pillow portion of Bohippian quilt pattern, so that you could dip your toes into English paper piecing without taking on a big project, and see if you enjoy it too. So let's talk about the pattern. So like I mentioned before, the pattern comes with a 20-inch pillow size, a crib size quilt, which is 36 by 46, and a throw size quilt, 70 by 74 inch. At the beginning of the pattern is an entire section dedicated to teaching you the English paper piecing method before you actually start the projects. So this part is here to hold your hand and teach you every method. Not only is there graphics so you can see what's going on, and instructions and words, of course, but there's also video tutorials. You can click on these video tutorials if you've never done a whip stitch before, which is how they're pieced together. You can click right here. If you're looking at the PDF, it'll take you to a video of a whip stitch, or you can, if you're looking at it in booklet form, you can just type the address in and it will teach you the whip stitch. So super easy. At the very back of the pattern is one of my favorite parts. One of the things I struggled with during my 1.5 years of making my Bohippian quilt is that I kept forgetting what I had done. 1.5 years is a long time to be working on one single quilt. And if you pick it up and put it down, pick it up and put it down, based on how busy your life is, there was moments where I would go like a month without working on it. So if you're working that kind of way with that length of time, you forget what you've done. So I've put this task checklist at the back of the pattern so that you can check off different parts of this quilt as you work through it. And this will help you to know what you've done, and you have a record of what you've done, so you can just, when you pick up the quilt again to work on it, you just go right where you left off. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. This is Bohippian Quilt Pattern is now available in PDF download or paper booklet. We ship worldwide, and you can buy it at meanderandmake.com. My testers all worked on the pillows. So if you go to the hashtag Bohippian Quilt on Instagram, you can see all the pillows they made, and they did such a lovely job, and it was so fun to see everybody's fabric choices and just methods of completing their pillow. I really enjoyed watching that. So go take a look at that if you need inspiration. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will snag yourself a copy of the Bohippian Quilt Pattern.